vrei să pleci, dar numai ei, numai ei, numai ei, chipul tău și
The JDC, it's also known as the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee. It's also known as the Joint Around the World. It started in 1914 as a response to Jews in need around the world, and that's pretty much been their mission, is to be the 911 of the Jewish world. In 70 countries, there's JDC programs going on, and they do everything from rescuing Jews in need to providing relief to Jewish communities that need help, and then also doing renewal work where they bring Jewish life and help renew Jewish life in communities that it may have been subdued over a number of years. So for example, in the former Soviet Union, a lot of people are just learning now that they are Jewish. Most of the short-term service trips or the alternative spring break trips do renewal work. They have only been going since 2004, but since then about 800 students or young adults have taken part in these programs, and the idea is to connect North American Jews to Jewish communities around the world in an effort to promote world Jewry and the idea that we're all responsible for one another. So just like we saw in Moldova, while we help the Jewish community while we're there, it's learning about their community and how they do things and sharing with each other, and it's kind of a two-way street between both the people that are participating on the trip and the people that we go to visit. The JDC pretty much plans the entire trip. What we do here on the ground at Penn State is recruit and have orientation sessions before we go, and to really build a community among our group of students that are going.
So our trip in Moldova started out with learning a bit about some of the problems that the Jewish community faces in Moldova, and unfortunately it's a lot. We also got to tour Jewish Moldova, the cemeteries, the one remaining synagogue, the sites of the pogrom, and then we also moved to the Jewish Community Center and saw a tour of those facilities, which was really great to see how future-oriented the community is there. They run a lot of great programs for the Jewish community, and a lot of people put a lot of hard work in, and there's a real feeling of hope in the Jewish Community Center there. Probably the best part of our week was we got to do a service project where we painted a welfare center that is currently in use, but they would like to use it for social programs and a place for the clients to come and feel welcome, and they want to put a psychiatry center in there as well as a hair salon, so just kind of helping to renew the Jewish community there. We also spent a lot of time with our peers, our Moldavian peers, and got to learn a bit about what it's like to be young in Moldova and also Jewish in Moldova, and they were incredibly warm and welcoming to us, and really went out of their way to make us feel at home in Moldova, and I think that we made really great connections and friends there.
I'm not really sure what I expected. I figured that we'd go with an amazing group of people and have a good time, and do something that would make us feel good and make other people benefit, but I wasn't really sure what I expected of it.
I figured it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I had no idea where Moldova was, and once I looked more into it, I thought I had nothing else to do, so I thought it might be fun, but then I got a lot more out of it than just like a fun spring break trip.
I didn't hesitate, which is weird for me. Usually I'll think about things and weigh the pluses and minuses, but for some reason when I saw the flyer, I just said I'm going. I think it's just an amazing opportunity and couldn't pass it up.
I really enjoyed interacting with people our own age. It was great to see that, how people who are just our age, that even though we live in very different countries, we're all kind of the same.
They watch the same movies, how they like to go to the Moldova, how they don't really go bowling as part of like a college activity, just how much they know the same music, they know some of the same dances, just how much life all the way in Moldova, a country I never heard of, is actually pretty similar to life here in State College, Pennsylvania. I really liked at the end of the trip when we were thanked by all of the volunteers that actually work and use the Jewish Center, and how they actually really appreciated the work we did, and were thankful, and just hearing how they were actually going to utilize the space and how much of a difference it was going to actually make in their lives.
I go back to a moment that I had during our home visit during International Women's Day, and the woman that we were speaking with was so appreciative of everything, and she looked at us and said, "You are the future, that you're the future of the world, you're the future of the Jewish people." And it was so powerful because there was a language barrier and we were getting a translation of this, but you could even just tell in her eyes that there was something very important that she wanted to leave with us, and it's something that I really think I'll always remember. It definitely did help me connect with Judaism. I think something really important about the religion and the culture is being active in the community, and that's something that we definitely did throughout the week, whether it was just talking with people or whether we were painting or doing anything. And it really reminded me of a part of Judaism that necessarily isn't religious, but it's something very important nonetheless.
I felt like a deeper connection to others in the Jewish community. I'm so used to the standard Jews at your synagogue or Jews in college, and it really gives you an appreciation that there's Judaism is throughout, and there's so many different variations of it. It really is important for you to appreciate that because you realize you're part of something a lot bigger.
Despite the language barriers we had with everybody, once we got together on Shabbos, we were all able to sing the same songs in Hebrew, share the same experiences, go to the same kind of service and know how to act, know what to say, and just share similar stories and just laugh at how they'll throw a Yiddish word and you'll know exactly what they'll mean. And it's interesting seeing how people celebrate Judaism differently, but yet there still are so many similarities and just something you could instantly have in common with people from a completely different place. Regardless of seeing a new place and something that was interesting that I never thought I'd be at, and trying new food and just a new style of living, I had so much fun with the people on my trip, and that's something that I was able to bring back with me to Penn State, and just the sense of unity that you get with the other students that you go with, and the connections that you make with people now all over the world. Now I have Facebook friends with Russian names, and that's really exciting, and just the experience to meet new people.
It's an experience that you're not going to find just going home for the week. And that when you're there, it's something that's hard to explain to people. It's that kind of emotional thing that you get. But I think that it's something that when you go, you will definitely feel.
If you're given opportunities, you need to take them, and this is an incredible chance to go out and explore something else. You should probably let yourself know that yourself. You can't be convinced, because if you're going to go there, you need to give it your all. But you just know that it's such an opportunity and you really can't pass it up.
Moldova's awesome.